What is up, Insomniacs? Midnight Sound 518 here, back with another awesome upgrade video for Sasha, my 2017 TRD Pro. So today we're going to be doing all the skids, every one of them. Actually, that's a lie. I don't have the A arms yet, but I'll get those eventually. So we'll be doing the transfer case skid as well as the rear differential skid and the gas tank skid. Both the rear diff and the gas tank skid are from RCI Offroad, and the transfer case itself is going to be the CBI transfer case skid, which comes in two parts. Yeah, so without further ado, we're going to hop right into it, and let's go. Rear shock mount skid plate. So anyways, yep, so we're gonna get that guy installed. It's super easy, super quick. Unfortunately, if you do have a TRD Pro and you came with the Fox shocks specifically for the TRD Pro, the shock oil like canister that sits out on the side of the shock itself, like the expansion volume, doesn't allow for the extra steel plate to be mounted to it. So you can put the bottom piece on, which I guess adds some protection. However, I didn't think about that extra reservoir, which I'll show you once we get under the truck. But yeah, so I'm gonna have to leave those second plates off, just do the first one. Also, one thing that I noticed, the kit gives you a brand new bolt, but they don't give you the nut for it. They expect you to use the factory nut, which does not match the threads. That might just be my truck. You know, this is a previously owned vehicle, so I don't know, maybe someone messed with the shocks and switched out what bolt they were using. If that's not the case, then the bolt that is included with the kit does not match the factory nut. The one that is factory is a little bit too short. I have that installed right now, but still pretty short, so looks a little jank. Anyways, with that, let's hop right into the video, and super easy. See you in a second. And boom, there they are. These are the Cali Raised LED steel rear shock mount skid plates. Well, yeah, skid plates for the Taco. So I want to take a moment and once again appreciate the build quality of Cali Raised parts. They look great. They are, you know, even looking at the welds on the inside here, they don't look super excessive. They're not super like gross or messed up in any way, and they're relatively ground down. And why are you eating it? Anyways, relatively ground down and smoothed out so that it doesn't look like, you know, crap. The skid is actually going to go right here on the bottom of the shock mount. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to lift the truck so that I can release all the tension on this shock and then take this bolt out. Alrighty, so the one side is done. Unfortunately, I can't add the second vertical plate. Yeah, scoot it a little closer. The second vertical plate that's supposed to run along here and protect this portion of the shock. So the stock, like factory nut, does not fit on the bolt that's supplied with the kit. The threads are different. So what I did is I just kept that nut and bolt on there for now. I'm going to have to go to the store and find one that's going to fit this, and then I guess get back under here and replace that. Yep, so I'm going to go ahead and knock out the other side here. All right. And just like the other side, we got this piece screwed on here. A nut, a lock washer, and a regular washer. And then this, you can kind of see a little bit of a hole right here. There's one on the opposite side. Ooh, and there's a leaf in here as well. Grass. It just kind of like slides into that hole just like that, and you rotate it upwards. So I already started undoing the straps a little bit, right? But they had 4 actual hard plastic straps. I don't know what you call those, sticking over to the top. Honestly, very happy with the packaging. It is a little bit messed up. I kind of wish they threw a little bit of cardboard or something like that on top, because you can see where some other packages or whatever may have been rubbing up against it. All right, so here's all of them sitting out. So we got the actual gas tank skid right here. I think this is the front part. It may actually go on the back. I don't know. I gotta look it up. I don't remember. So this one is CBI Fabrications. Also the transfer case skid as well, and then the back portion of that, which is also from CBI. And then from RCI Offroad, I got the rear differential skid, and then all of its supporting stuff. Also, just kind of noting on the packaging for this guy, this is legit bolted down onto the pallet, which I thought was honestly pretty crazy, because they had the straps that were running all through the entire setup. So I went to pull it off earlier, and well, it's on there good. So I don't know. Good on them. Spider. Heck yeah.
Solid.
Absolutely. Dude, look at these welds. Very pretty.
Yeah, the welding was done well.
It was done really well. Holy cow. Alright, sick.
Zoom in on it for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Solid construction. Okay. Start with, we have to undo, I believe, this guy right here hooked up to the brake lines. And then on the other side, there was, oh yeah, right here. Covered with a little sticker, so I have to punch this guy out. Can't see it at all. So there's that hole. And I have no, maybe it's the other one. That one's slightly bigger. It's gonna go into one of these guys. I may have to take this little plug off right here so I can get my fingers around the edge to be able to reach in here. All right, so yeah, it's gonna be a 12 millimeter. So we're gonna have to take off this 12 millimeter nut in order to get access to the back side of these holes right here, as you can see, so that we can get the nut inside of the frame.
I don't feel one. It's just, no, it's just sticky. That's all. It's just sticky shit right there.
Right, you can throw that nut inside of it. There you go.
You want it in here?
Oh yeah, you can just thread it back in. That's cool. Let's get the left side on, just loosely, and then we'll work on the right. So if you want to lift it up. I'm gonna have to get my adjustable wrench so that we can tighten that one down when we get there.
Yeah. Yeah, I got it on.
Is it threaded?
It's threaded, yeah.
Alright, cool. Good enough. So these bars right here, which are just after the engine, you can see that front skid plate right there. Right here. Yeah, I don't know, just behind. 4, 2 here, 2 here, 12 millimeter bolts, and those on each side. We're gonna take these guys off because one of the large carriage bolts is gonna stick right through one of these holes right here when we get the skid on. So we're gonna take those off. That's one side. backside, keep holding it. What I got? Yep. Come on. I figured out what these are for. These squares.
Yeah?
Yeah, so that you don't have to use a extender. You rest right on top.
That works.
Alright, you can let go.
Oh, I'm not gonna lie, that was heavy as fuck.
Yeah, it was. Alright, so guys, just to show you what I'm talking about. Whoop, I dropped my camera. So these square, like flat washer type things sit on top of these holes here, and they prevent you from having to get a wrench all the way, or a socket all the way down inside of this fucking frame piece, so that you can bolt that on from there. Let me get the other side. Once again, all of these are finger tight, right? Those two up there, and these 4, I'm stupid. The next one is gonna go in this hole right here. It's gonna be one of the long bolts that they include. It's gonna go all the way up through the frame. And once again, the hole on the top, we can stick one of these guys right on the other side, so we don't have to worry about it. Once we get that last one in, we're gonna tighten it up. I'm gonna start with these two right here. With one on the inside and on the opposite, and then we'll just work our way back with tightening. So this one is going to be a 13, I know it's upside down, 13 millimeter bolt. All the Tacoma ones are 14. Unfortunately, the ones with this kit are 13. Oh well. Oh hey, I found grass.
This side is awkward as fuck to get on.
It is very awkward. At least this isn't as bad as it was putting on a driver's side fucking grab handle. It took me 2 hours just to thread one bolt.
This bolt in the back feels like it's just spinning.
What would be because it is? It's because it's too big. I found it. Figured it out.
Figured it out.
So it turns out, guys, we're just the dumb ones. We had enough bolts or nuts. We just used the wrong size. It's on there. Oh, my forearm's burning.
Yeah, I know.
No, this didn't charge at all. Alright, so yeah, we were dumb. We do have all 4. We just had the wrong size bolt on the wrong size thing. Or nut on the wrong size bolt. Alright, well, time to get tightening. I've resorted to the ultimate pain, using a crescent wrench. Ah! Now we're just putting this guy back on. Ooh, my neck hurts.
Yeah.
There it is in all its glory. It's fucking sturdy. You can break the truck. I'm gonna take that thing off. Alright, so next up we're gonna get the gas tank skid installed. So basically, I'm gonna take the front plate and get it set up on this guy. And then we'll take the plastic one off of the old plastic one off of the tank, and we'll put this one on. I'm gonna leave this guy on here loose as well, because you want to be able to adjust it once you get it installed. So 4 nuts, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and all these are gotta go. All right, there it is. Oh, that's not that bad.
Actually, that's kind of badass.
Doesn't it? Damn it. Come on, just thread, motherfucker.
I got it.
Woo! My neck hurts. Alright, so I'm gonna make this quick because my GoPro is gonna die, and I'll just show you the touch up later. So basically, we gotta run 2 bolts right through here, right through the frame, and then just like with the other one, we got these squares that'll sit on the back on top in order to hold it in place. And then once those are on, I'm gonna tighten these 2 down right here, and then it'll be it. Just kind of wanted to showcase how much grass is actually inside of this thing. But yeah, set. Alrighty, so next up we're going to be getting installed the RCI rear diff skid. As you can see, once again, very quality finish, right? The welds themselves are very well done, and they look great. So this is going to be super easy, or should be. Basically, I'll start out by installing this guy, which is going to go up and over the front end of the drive shaft going into the rear diff, right? And then this part right here is just going to go right on top, just like that. And that sits right over top of the drive shaft, right? And then we can hook in these 2 right to here on this end of the diff, and that'll be hanging free. And then we can throw our 2 brackets up over top the rear axle. So let's get this guy going, and yeah, let's check it out. So first off, we've got this piece, which is going to go right along this guy right here, is where it will be resting. And then his counterpart here, sit right on top. Get in a little bit further. So here's what I'm looking at, right? So we got the bolt going through, we got a washer, a lock washer, and then the nut on the back side. And this, so that's forward of the truck, or the front of the truck, right up near the engine. And this is the rear axle at the front end of it. So you got the drive shaft here going into the rear differential, and then this plate sits just like this against it. It's got a little cutout right here, you can see my finger, that slides right along this line here. All right, now comes the fun part. Just want to make sure y'all can see this. We've got the bracket itself, right? Slips right over the axle. On the back side, there's some cables for the brake lines and all that sort of stuff. Sorry about the truck noise. Just slide it right on underneath those. Go down through because it's got more space on that side. I'm going to get these, or the left side on, sorry, the driver's side on, and then I'll tighten them up. I'll show you what it looks like. So these guys are a 14mm. I don't know if it's really focusing on that, but 14mm socket. I threw a little extension just to make my life easier. And tighten it down. Now there are brake lines and whatnot that are hanging out on top of this axle, so you want to make sure that you're not pinching anything between the metal itself. Make sure everything is out of the way. There it is, fully installed. I'm going to look at it from the other side. You can see the little clips there that go over top of the axle. And there's it from the back side. So one last thing I want to mention, and yes, my car has now moved. The rear diff skid, right, going right in there. Little bit of a pain in the butt. So I got it on the first time. I went for a drive, and I know you can't see it too well, but this, see if I can't point at it,
So you got the drive shaft running right here, and the end of the drive shaft has this little disc, this little circular disc that runs around it. That rotates, right? The transfer case skid, right, has this plate right there where my finger is. And that plate, which is supporting the front end of the transfer case skid, so it's supported in 3 spots, 2 on either side of the axle and 1 right in the front of the diff. I could not tighten that down well enough in the position that it was in while it was mounted on the truck, right? Really hard to do. My truck's very low to the ground, so I kind of had to finick with it. So what I ended up doing is I took it off because it was rubbing, it was making a scraping noise, and I didn't like it because that's not supposed to do that. So I ended up taking it off, bolting down those 2 bolts right there, the ones that are connected to that front plate right here, getting those completely tight, and then reinstalling the diff skid as is. Now, that made it a little bit more of a struggle for that C-clamp on top that you guys have already seen, but I promise you it is possible. Now I'm getting eaten alive by bugs, so I'm gonna move. Hey guys, so yeah, there you have it. Installed the rear shock skid plates, I guess, rear shock mount skid plates. Once again, I've been saying this whole time, it's really easy. It took me a minute to kind of figure out how to mess with that shock in order to compress it a little bit, because I can't compress that with my own weak arms. But screwdriver works, and the car jack itself also works. I really wish that I could get that extra plate installed right here, but you know, it is what it is. At least it's got a little bit of extra kind of support in the back here in case I smack down on something really good. But whoa. Yeah. Alrighty, well there you have it. So we have all 3 skids now installed. The transfer case skid by CBI, the rear differential skid by RCI Offroad, and the gas tank skid also by RCI Offroad. So yeah, hope you guys found this video at all helpful or informative. If you did, please help me out, hook me up, hit that like button, you know, maybe give me a subscribe, something like that. It's awesome. I got new videos coming out every single week. Not always upgrades for Sasha, however, a lot of them are, and I'm slowly working my way towards the truck vision that I have right now. I do have quite the vision, and it's very expensive, but it's a lot of fun, and I have a really good time putting all these together. With that, I hope you guys have enjoyed, and I'll catch you on the next go around. Midnight Sun out.